they were going to have a bit of a coup, get Nancy to the presidency, create a document that she would then sign, term limiting the Supreme Court justices and throwing off the balance of power.
We are free, we are America.
What's the pathway now? What do you see happening? I know you talked about something alluding to this a long time ago. Spell it out for us, Juan.
Well, as you know, the day that McCarthy finally won the speakership after 15 votes, the last agreement that McCarthy made before everybody went ahead and took the votes high enough for him to win was that with just one member of the Republican Party in the House, because the Republicans have the majority in the House, with just one Republican House member voting to recheck and see if there was a consensus of enough Republicans remaining to keep McCarthy at the speakership with just one complaint, if you will, they could check and see if there was enough consensus to keep McCarthy in the office. That was unusual, but it was a rule change. And in the entire history of the United States, no Speaker of the House has ever stepped down, been removed in this way by a vote. So McCarthy wasn't feeling much strain, but I warned your listeners, I warned other people that if he doesn't straighten up and fly right, he's on a short leash, he could be out, and it could be at a critical moment when that could open the pathway. You know, the Speaker of the House does not have to be an elected member of government. It can be any person that all of the people agree to. So I told everybody the day that McCarthy won the vote, down the road, they could decide to put Donald Trump in as the Speaker of the House. Now, the threat there is that the Speaker is second in line to the presidency. And we have a president, if you remember back last year when the Brunson case had things in check and they had docketed it between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and the Supreme Court did that on a kind of an emergency basis and then held it. The threat was that the Democrats behind the scenes were planning on doing a little shuffling, and the behind the scenes word was they were going to try and move Nancy Pelosi up to the presidency. She had said for years, before this is over, I will be president. So she had threatened that a lot of times from the speakership position. And if Biden was to have some issue, health or otherwise, impeachment due to the stuff that's coming out with bribes from the Ukraine side, from the China side, investigations, etc. If he was out and Harris was going to move to the presidency, then Harris doesn't qualify to be president based on the Constitution because of her parents not being American-born citizens. So there's attorneys waiting, and there's congressional people waiting to challenge that. Nancy herself knew all those issues and was banking on that to be able to take Harris out. And the contention was that was going to be last Christmas, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It didn't happen because what Nancy had also said was if she got into the presidency, that there was Democrats saying they would pass a vote that would give a term limit to the Supreme Court justices because of what they had done in overturning Roe versus Wade and 50 years of settled law. And so in retaliation, which was very fresh at the time, they were going to have a bit of a coup, get Nancy to the presidency, create a document that she would then sign, term limiting the Supreme Court justices and throwing off the balance of power in the administrative, legislative, and court sides of government.